Convening this April 13th, 2023 meeting of the Transportation and Transit Commission. It is 6:30 p.m. For a roll call, I guess we'll go through the ceremony of this. Micah?
Here.
Micah, allowed to say. Rich Tate?
Here.
Jason Strauss is not here. Michael Grunitsky is not here. Gabrielle Gerhardt?
Here.
And Elizabeth Ward?
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum of 5. I see nobody else here for a public appearance on non-agenda items. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 9?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain.
You're, because we're here. Okay, 1 abstention. So the minutes are approved. Item 7, report from department. Tim?
Tim Volker, for the record, Director of Public Works, City Engineer. I'll start with some staffing updates. The transportation engineer position still remains open. We're actually going to be kind of an informal interview tomorrow with a candidate. She just doesn't have her PE license, so we're going to kind of just gauge the interest between her and us. She definitely has the experience. She's worked for the DOT the last 10 years, so going to kind of see if that leads anywhere. For project updates, last week on the Sain Road reconstruction project, the intersection of Lacey Road and Sain was closed and a detour was implemented. We're hoping to have that reopened late May. That's obviously weather dependent. And then once Lacey Road and Sain, the intersection reopens, the intersection of East Sherrill Parkway and Sain will be closed down and detoured. On the Lacey Road Seminole Highway reconstruction project, yesterday the surveyor started staking the limits of the tree clearing and grubbing for the project. We're hoping next week, Monday, the contractor for the tree clearing and grubbing will be able to commence work on that. And then regarding the Fitchburg Road reconstruction project, we had a kickoff meeting held on March 20th, 2023. And then subsequent to that meeting, residents were mailed notices last week for upcoming survey and utility marking work that's going to be ongoing as part of the design. So for the Fitchburg Road reconstruction project, we're hoping design will be 2023 and 2024, and then construction in 2025. That's all I have to report. Any questions?
Just curious about that project. Is that tied to a larger surface water management project? You know what I mean? Fitchburg floods all the time.
Yeah,
So does all the homes in Goose Lake, whatever that's called. So is there a plan to fix that problem connected to this?
So simultaneously, the city has a stormwater project for Goose Lake underway. So we're timing that project with the work that's going on with the roadway. They're going to be separate projects, but timing-wise, they'll be completed so that the stormwater improvements will be done simultaneously with the road. So we're looking to start the design. I believe we just got the scope of work for the design today, so we're reviewing that. As long as we're good with that, we proceed with the design and then start construction and have that complete.
My recollection of discussions of that in the past is that this is a hard problem, isn't it?
The Goose Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So.
It's not just putting in a few culverts, I think there's a big drainage area.
Yeah, and the permitting, I believe, is really a big component of that because of the wetland status
Oh,
of
okay.
Goose Lake. So
Okay.
there's going to be some timing to work through the permitting on that. So that will probably be the challenge.
All right, any other discussion on that?
I have one question, or I guess I wanted to notify the committee. So we do have a resolution coming through council for the contract for West Lacey Road.
Yes.
I don't know if you wanted to give them an update since that's not going to be coming. Unfortunately, it should have come here, but we were supposed to vote on it last night, but we couldn't vote on it because of a contract thing with Promega.
Okay.
But it couldn't be referred after the fact. So that'll be coming to council, I believe, the next meeting. So could you just give an update to the committee, I guess?
Yes. So as for the construction work that's going on for Lacey with the tree clearing and grubbing, the city had put out an RFP last year, and that work got put on hold because we were still obtaining the land necessary for the project. So we have a separate contractor for the tree clearing and grubbing under contract. And then as Gabriella stated, the contract for the actual construction of Lacey Road, we're looking to award to Parisi Construction the last meeting here in April. So that was tabled at Tuesday's Common Council meeting due to the agreement with Promega having to be revised or amended, I should say, to amend the agreement so that we can then award the construction contract to Parisi. So
Okay.
formality.
So anyway, we'll see that next time. At our next meeting, presumably, or will that come here at all?
No. So it went to the Board of Public Works and Finance Committee. Board of Public Works passed it, and then Finance Committee tabled it for the last meeting in February also.
Yeah, it was referred out on March 28th,
Okay.
and we weren't going to meet between then, but then we postponed it. So
Yep.
it was just a weird, coincidence,
Okay.
but yeah, it's coming before, and we can give an update after
Yeah,
the
the
process.
next meeting I can include that in my updates.
I don't anticipate it'll be a controversial
No,
awarding of a contract.
it came in significantly under the engineer's estimate.
Which is, that
Which is
never
good.
happens. So.
All right, item 8, review items. We're on to Resolution R 7223, approving a state municipal agreement to fund the purchase of 8 bus stop shelters. And could you take a minute and tell us what that's about, Tim?
Yes, so this resolution is approving the state agreement for these eight bus stop shelters. These 8 bus stop shelters were programmed in the 2023 budget, and we were approved from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation bipartisan infrastructure law, STP urban program bus shelters, and the state's going to be providing funding up to 80% of the construction costs, and then the local applicant funds the remaining 20%. So the grant's going to be covering $140,800, and then the city will be coming up with $62,952 for the bus shelters.
Can I have a motion to approve?
I can move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this?
I had a couple questions. Like the Board of Public Works just went over this. Were there any concerns brought up at that meeting?
No, kind of what was discussed at the Board of Public Works was, whose responsibility it is to install and maintain them, so that the city has that responsibility. So we'll have them shipped to our Public Works facility, put them together there, and then go out and install them.
Okay.
And then as far as maintenance, we would be responsible for maintaining them. If there's graffiti or maybe the glass gets cracked or something, we would go out and fix that.
And these are all new locations? They're not existing shelters in these locations where these 8 are going?
Correct. And the locations are still to be determined. We're looking to coordinate that with Madison Metro. And I've reached out to Madison Metro to start those that conversation. I just haven't heard back
Okay.
from them yet.
I'm just curious about that. It's not going to change.
There is a map included which shows the areas where they will be. It
Yeah,
shows-
I thought I saw that
Doesn't
too.
show specific locations, but it shows
Regions.
General region.
stretches
Yeah.
of street. and
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of the stretch, it looks like 4 bus stops along Fish Hatch. And then looks like it's route, let's see, D2 it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're in District 1.
Are these current stops that don't have shelters, or will they be new stops with the redesign?
it will be part of the redesign. So if one of the stops is getting added as part of the redesign, I guess we'll have to look at these segments of roadway and see where the existing stops is.
The ones along Allied are where we did the like cutout, isn't it? Where we changed the route, like amended the road.
Yeah, there were a lot of changes in District 1, I think, off of the original route. And Fish Hatchery, I don't think there's a lot of shelters on Fish Hatchery right now, but there will be more frequent bus service. And
Do these just look like what I'm expecting a bus shelter to look like?
They actually look, there's a couple on Fitch Hatchery, so as part of that road reconstruction the city did, I believe the new bus shelters, so it has the City of Fitchburg logo on the glass and stuff. I believe these are gonna mimic those and be consistent with those.
So the issue of concern to us is, do we have any concerns about those locations or those stretches of road?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other discussion about this?
The only thing I'd mention is that, I don't know, I understand that the 75 is not, a route that we pay for, because it goes down the key. But I know it's my understanding is it's pretty well used, and there's a lot of senior housing, right in the Chapel Valley area, so closer to where the Fish Hatchery, where it
Okay.
intersects the Fish Hatchery. And I do believe that it's used pretty frequently by seniors in that area. So I don't know if we could consider
Okay.
a shelter in that area. I might have to take a look and see what the boardings are in that area.
Sure.
But I think it's worth consideration.
Okay.
So these are just suggested areas that what I'm looking at here. These are the exact, from your question and your response, I gather there's room for some flexibility in this at some point, or somebody's gonna make the final decision down the road.
Yes. Like I mentioned, I've reached out to Madison Metro, just kind of hearing back to kind of get their input on maybe some suggested locations. I don't believe these are set in stone, but it's something, I guess, once we finalize, just to run it past DOT so we're not not doing anything we're not supposed to due to the grant. So.
Are there any shelters along that? I know you're concerned about that stretch of McKee from past discussions.
I think there's one, maybe right near. I think there might be one.
There's one
There's
right at
one
the
on
intersection. There's one
Fish
just,
Hatch and McKee.
Yeah.
There's one right at the, but I mean, the route is like, it's only one route. I kind of understand why there's not bus shelters. Like, I understand the rationale behind it. It's more that specific area and like
Mm-hmm.
who's using the bus. I just think of having a bench and might be
So-
warranted.
right, these other routes will get a lot more use, I think.
I think it's pretty frequently used, even though it's like a relatively, it's just peak service. So it's, but yeah.
All right, further discussion or comment? We have a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, the commission approves this resolution. And that brings us to, are you timing us, Rich? All right, brings us to, announcements. The next meeting is Thursday, May 11th. Are there other announcements?
I have one.
Thank you.
The B-cycles are up all over the city. There's a whole bunch of different locations, but for the month of April, if you download the B-cycle app and you use the code BIKETHEBURG, B-U-R-G, you can get a free month pass from all the way through April 30th. So anyone that's interested in checking them out, they're all electric bikes.
Cool.
And it'd be cool to check them out. So,
How much
and
is
spread
it?
the word.
How much will it cost for paying customers?
That's a great question. I do not know. The Fitchburg Chamber has a nice little write-up on it on their website. I can send it to the committee just for
Is
reference.
this, are these,
There's like a bunch of options, because you can go like unlimited for a month, 5 trips, 30 minutes. I've used them a few times, yeah.
and is this integrated with the Madison B-cycles? So if you can pick up a bike here and go downtown Madison and leave it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that's what's nice about being this particular company. It's regional. So, yeah, and the electric bike will make it easier to get all the way into potentially into downtown Madison. So,
Well, that's pretty neat. So where's the nearest to here, the nearest B-cycle pickup?
I believe it's at Agora. The Fitchburg Chamber has
Okay.
some at their Agora location. But I can list off the other locations too.
You're going to send a follow-up on that?
Yeah, I'll send you the
good,
link
good,
to the
Okay.
to the chamber. But yeah, it's at the Limerick, the new building up near Sion Road, Terravesa, Oak Bank on McKee, the one at Agora on on Sherrill Drive, the Wyndham Hotel at Hatchery Hill, and McKee Farms Park. Pretty
I
exciting.
think I'll try one.
You should, and they're electric, so it's a good like
Well,
first time. If you have
The
it.
only exercise I get is jumping to conclusions and chasing my tail. So,
All right. Any other announcements? Seeing none.
I had a question.
Okay. so-
What's the status on the study for the shuttle?
Oh.
I know we approved it a couple months ago.
The study for the shuttle.
The
For senior.
the intercity transit feasibility study.
Oh,
So the city was looking to supplement, I believe was it budgeted 25 or 50,000? The city increased the budget. I
Yeah,
recall.
I think we went from 15 to 25,000.
Okay.
Because of the vacancy savings from the transmission engineer. I think it was 25,000.
And then the city was looking to supplement that with a grant that Andrew McFadden had reached out
Yes.
to let us know. So we had followed up with Andrew and the DOT regarding that. We have to get on the MPO's list, and I actually had a phone call with the MPO today regarding this. Let me just pull up the email.
but if all goes well, this will be, the study will be initiated this winter or this summer sometime, or?
Yeah, so it's the statewide transit planning grant program that Andrew reached out to us to let us know there'd be available funding for that. So prior to applying for this grant program, any project in the Madison MPO needs to be on the Madison MPO's Unified Planning Work Program. So the work program has already been published for this year, but it doesn't mean it can't be amended. So I had a meeting with the MPO this afternoon, and I brought this up, and Colleen was gonna look into it to see if it had been added. If not, she has said it's not a big deal. And then also, the MPO can help. Obviously, we're down the transportation engineer. So the meeting I had with the MPO was just kind of an overview for me on the MPO and what they do, and they help municipalities with planning, transportation planning. So Colleen said for me to send her kind of what we're looking to do here, and that this may be something the MPO can help us with. So
nice.
I want to, that would be very nice if they could help with the study and help facilitate this. So I'm hoping to draft an email to her, kind of letting her know our available funding, kind of what this priorities are for the city to get out of this study, and then go from there. So I can report back at next meeting kind of what's all evolved from this. I should know a lot more
Cool.
at that
Thank
time.
you.
You're welcome.
So this is a question for Gabrielle, I guess. I mean, the hope would be that information coming from the study would provide some guidance for city funding of something. Will the timing work out to get something in the next fiscal year budget?
For the shuttle.
No, for a shuttle, or remember the study was going to look at 3 issues.
Yeah.
So if a good idea comes out of this study, a feasible idea comes out of it, could that be incorporated into the next annual fiscal budget?
Yeah, that's something we would like to line up. Otherwise, you lose a full year doing that. So, it's already April. It all depends on, if the MPO does help us, how fast they would be able to help us out with. But yeah, our goal would be to get funding included for next year. Otherwise, you would lose that full year.
Right.
So.
And what are the dates? Roughly when are the? What are they?
Oh, well, so I mean, the CIP would be the first step, and I think the shuttle might be a CIP project, I don't believe it's for next year.
It's definitely in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
It was talked about, and I know that we also included it in the TID ARPA plan for potential one-time funding, but obviously that doesn't help with the operation of it. It has to be in the operating budget, but, I guess I gotta check.
It sounds like the prospects are
shuttle.
dim for being in an operating budget this next year.
So the transit shuttle does have a project in the CIP, it looks like, with some funding in 2024, and then some additional funding going forward after 2024. Obviously, this is just tentative, it's not,
Okay. But that was in particular for the shuttle,
yeah,
not for any of the other topics we're.
yeah. Yeah, the problem with the bus service is operating budget, so it's not gonna be incorporated into the CIP, because CIP is only actual, infrastructure and physical items. But there is time to have that discussion. Obviously, it becomes complicated. But there is, as of right now, the CIP has some funding for 2024,
For a shuttle.
which is really the good first step so it can get incorporated into the budget. The CIP is not 100% guarantee that it'll get translated to the budget, but things that are slated for 2024 usually are carried into the operating budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew's original plan that he gave us, we're on track for. I mean, the contract was 2020 spring, and then it said that we could get, apply for 5310 funds to purchase the shuttles in the late summer and be able to propose the operating budget for 2024 in late summer. So we're on track, assuming he wasn't overly optimistic when he put the schedule together.
All right. Okay, so we can anyway look forward to seeing what that study gives us. If there's no other comments or announcements, this meeting, I guess I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second. Oh, man, I just thought I'd go on my streak.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.